All right. Overtime question. Here we go. This one's interesting, guys, and I want to direct this one here a little bit. Let's say we don't get to the CFP, Chris.
Yes.
How should Buckeye fans view this year's bowl game if we are not in the CFP? All right. I've been thinking about this. It always bugs me when people sit out. And here's how I've decided to change my mindset. If you're not in the college football playoff, your season is officially over.
Right.
The bowl game is a view, if you will, to next year's football team.
Yeah.
Yes.
And when the players sit out, as head coach, I would do this. Julian Fleming, thanks for your work this year. Appreciate it. It's time for the younger kids to play. Emeka Egbuka, you're on the borderline. You think you're going pro? You sit this one out. Younger kids get to play. Henderson, you're probably not going to come back next year. I understand. Hayden, you're in. Who's returning? You guys are all returning next year? All right, you guys get the reps. It's time to roll. And this becomes a showcase for next year's team. We kind of already saw that when we went to the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
And Olave sat out, and Wilson sat out, and C.J. Stroud started throwing touchdown passes to Jackson Smith-Njigba and Marvin Harris in that game, right? It was a showcase for the next year's team. That's how I think you have to look at it. Eichenberg and Steel Chambers, I love you guys. Thank you so much for all your hard work. C.J. Hicks, you're in. You're now the starting linebacker, and you get all the reps this year for the rest for bowl season. These are the things that coaches have to do here.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be hard for Ryan Day to cut off some of those seniors who want to play. But in my opinion, you have to do what's best for your program.
Yes.
And if the bowl game doesn't mean crap anymore, and it doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah, it don't.
Then this is all about getting your team ready for next season.
Yes.
That's how I want to view the bowl game if we don't go to the CFP. Guys, your thoughts. Go for it, Aaron.
No, everything you just said, I am in 100% agreement of. My dad and I have talked about this. This is on the money. The bowl games don't mean anything anymore. It is simply a look to the future on what the team has. And I think that we have a bright future. And, at this point, do we care what the bowl game record is anymore? Because we've talked a lot of trash about Harbaugh's bowl record, but at this point, with the CFP being what it is, those bowl games are just glorified exhibition games.
They are
with backups. And so, does it really matter? I think that this is just a talking point to our fans that let's chill out on the bowl records. All right, if Ryan Day is 2-6, but 4 of those games were the Rose Bowl in a non-CFP, it doesn't matter. So, but yeah, you're right, Eric. It's about building the program, and that's how you do that. The guys that aren't totally committed, you're not playing. I want the guys that are going to be here next year. I need to see what they're going to do.
Yeah. Here's Chris. Go ahead. Your thoughts.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And you have to see what we have on tap for next year. I don't think that the bowls mean squat. The bowl games have basically become the NFL's the Pro Bowl. Where you don't get the top players because they're all in the real playoffs. So now you get the 3rd, 4th, 5th best players.
With shiny trophies.
And with shiny trophies, yeah. So honestly, I mean, I'm completely on board with what you said. I think we need to just see that future talent, give those guys the reps, and like you said, I honestly start that conversation the minute we find out whether or not we're in.
Yep.
And you prep them all bowl season.
Yes.
Yeah. It's invaluable reps, dude.
Yes. And
And
those real time reps in games are going to help those kids next
this
year.
is going to sound completely jaded and selfish, but if those reps are so valuable, you have to look those seniors in the eye and say, "Thank you for your effort. We tried, but we didn't succeed. Your season's over. Their season starts."
Yeah.
That's the business end of this.
I know that
and honestly,
sounds,
when they bitch about it, maybe you look at them and say, maybe you should have tried harder.
I know that sounds incredibly calloused to say, and like I don't care, and nothing could be further from the truth. Like, I appreciate everything Tommy Eichenberg and Cade Stover
Absolutely.
and Xavier Johnson. Like, I'm a huge Stover fan, guys. I grew up down the road from where he grew up. Like, I understand like where the culture in which he came from. I'm a huge Stover fan. Xavier Johnson, God love him. I think the kid's a phenomenal leader. And in fact, I'm mad he didn't get to get used more, because every time he touched the ball, he made something happen, man.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry, guys. Your time's over. You didn't make it. It's time to move on and get the next crop of guys ready, because that is the goal now, is getting to the CFP and winning it. And you're not going to do it with the guys who are seniors. So that's what I would do. And that's kind of how I look at it as a fan. I don't know if Ryan Day would do that. I doubt it. I seriously doubt it, but
he doesn't have the stones for a move like that.
I agree. But that is the business end of this. So, Eric, I agree.
I don't know, Mark, because I'm not so sure that number 30, what's his name? He doesn't come back.
Cody Simon.
Yeah, Cody Simon doesn't come back next year. Yes, he's a senior, but he could be a super senior.
I'd like to see that.
He might decide to come back next year. He has one more year of eligibility. It's CJ Hicks needs to get on the field, though.
Yes, he does.
Do you see a QB change for next season?
Yes.
Yeah, I said the only way Kyle McCord is the starting quarterback next season is if he won a natty this year.
Well, I see two things happening. I see them going back to the transfer portal, and I see them giving Aaron Nolan a serious look as a true freshman.
I agree.
Look at Malik Murphy. If you guys have not heard, look into that situation, because he may be in Columbus next year. Kyle McCord will transfer if he comes here. Promise you that.
Ryan Day has got to get a killer instinct about him. He had that killer instinct when he first took over as head coach. He went down to Georgia and he grabbed gosh, I'm having trouble with names tonight. No.
Dabo?
No. Went down to Georgia and got Georgia's quarterback. Got Fields. Gosh,
Justin Fields, yeah.
Justin Fields. Why couldn't I think of his name tonight? He went down and got Justin Fields. Remember what Tate Martell did?
Transferred for the first about 15 times.
See ya, buddy. That was all Ryan Day.
Later, Tater.
Rayola's not coming here.
That was all Ryan Day saying, "You're not good enough in my offense. I'm going to go get someone better than you." He needs to do that again, guys. McCord is a good serviceable quarterback. He is a great backup quarterback.
Yes.
And if he beat out Brown, then I'm sorry. Brown ain't your answer either.
Nope.
So it's tough to pill to swallow, but this is all Ryan Day's doing, guys. He could choose between J.J. McCarthy and Kyle McCord, and he chose wrongly. Now, I don't think J.J. McCarthy's much better, in my opinion. He didn't throw any interceptions. He ran 4 first down. Those are two things our quarterback didn't do.
Better decision maker.
But that was all Ryan Day's decision, to go get McCord and not McCarthy. McCarthy admitted it this week to their media. He was an Ohio State fan and he wanted to be a Buckeye.
Yeah. McCord didn't start watching Ohio State until 2016 or 17. He has no idea about Ohio State culture. Arch Manning is not transferring.
Nick Quitt, I don't want him.
I think he's Kyle McCord 2.0, honestly.
For complete it again, Arch
He's
Manning.
overrated.
Arch Manning is a name.
He's not
Yes.
leaving Texas.
Go watch his film in high school. Same thing with Quint Ewers. Aaron called Quint Ewers out years ago. I remember Aaron watching his film and going, he ain't that great.
I've seen him in person.
Quinn Ewers had one really good game against Alabama, and then I watched him the next week absolutely just puke all over himself as a quarterback. In the college game, guys, you need a quarterback who can run it and throw it.
And here's the thing. And one of the viewers here, what do we got? Is it Jeb?
Yeah, Jeb Elmo.
He's got a great point here, but I'll tell you, I'll answer that because Ryan Day believes in the NFL system where you just drop back and pass. But even the NFL's getting away from that with the RPO stuff.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah.
You've got to be mobile.
Listen to this. I watched the end of the Texans game again today. CJ Stroud took off running multiple times.
At one point in the game, about halfway through, CJ was their leading rusher. I don't know how it finished, but CJ was the team's leading rusher.
Crazy. That's an unproven commodity.
But you know what?
I
wouldn't hate to see him get a shot.
Nope, I'm with it. We don't know till he's on the field, so yeah.
I think that next year this is a wide open competition. I really do.
It needs to be.
It needs to be, yeah. So one of the things you're going to see us do in the coming weeks, we're going to have some videos where we dissect this stuff like much more than we just did tonight on the direction of this team. There are coaches on this staff that Ryan Day needs to fire. We're going to talk about that.
Parker Fleming.
Parker Fleming. He needs to go like a year ago.
Yeah, he needed to be gone.
Why do we even need a special teams coach with the performance we're getting?
Exactly.
Let's get rid of him, make James Laurinaitis the linebackers coach, and let Knowles focus on being a full-time defensive coordinator.
Brian, if you're saying Tua transferring from Maryland, he's like 25 years old. He's done. This was like his 6th year of eligibility in college. This was it. He's out of here. He did break the all-time passing record in the Big Ten.
For the conference, yeah.
But that is also kind of misleading because they did not count bowl games and postseason stats. And Drew Brees, if they would have done that, would have still been the passing leader in the Big Ten. Eric Osbeck, ouch! Ryan Day needs to fire Ryan Day.
Don't be surprised if that isn't what happens, guys.
Ryan Day needs to look himself in the mirror and remember who he was. Okay, I wasn't going to talk about this tonight, but we're already 12 minutes in overtime. Might as well go here.
Let's keep it.
Ryan Day, when he was up in the box calling plays, and it wasn't his players, was a whole lot more aggressive than he is on the sideline calling plays with his players.
Yeah.
Agree or disagree?
Oh, 100%. 100%. There's a big difference, I think, between
which leads me to this comment right here. Ryan Day needs a play caller. Yeah.
That's never going to happen.
Here's the thing. I think Ryan Day is an offensive genius.
And that's why that won't ever happen.
From the press box, like you said, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he has the makeup to be a head coach. That's my problem with him. I think he has a great ability as an offensive coordinator. He's not built to be the guy. I don't think he can handle the pressure.
I think he needs to find somebody that he trusts the way that Urban Meyer trusted him up in the box. I do agree with you guys, but he can call the plays, but what he needs is somebody that he trusts, like his right-hand man, eyes in the sky, that can help him out to make the right play calls. He also needs to grow a pair more consistently. His testicles blow up and shrink more than anybody I've ever heard of, and I don't understand it. He needs somebody to help him out. I agree with everybody in the comments section. It's just the way it is. One day he's got wheelbarrow. The next day, I don't know what the hell's going on.
Microscope.
Yeah.
Chris, I want you to do me a favor tonight.
Yes.
I want you to finally admit to me that Kevin Wilson was valuable.
Oh, there's no doubt. Obviously, I am 100% on board saying I was wrong. I thought that Ryan Day
I know you see what I see.
was
Uh-huh.
much more important than what Kevin Wilson was. I thought that Kevin Wilson was just
Put it
an
on the screen.
entitled.
Put it on the screen.
Which makes this comment coming. I was going to say this, and Mark Swick literally
Yes.
read my mind.
Put it on the
Which
screen.
makes the next hire, Ryan Day, need to be this guy.
Not for any other reason than eyes in the sky.
Put him in the box. Let him be the Kevin Wilson for you. Now, this might mean we lose Brian Hartline because Brian Hartline won't be calling plays. Are you all right with that?
I'm not.
No,
You just pay Brian Hartline more, right? You just pay him more.
Brinks truck.
here's the thing. Kelly is the past of college football. Brian Hartline is the future.
It's not about his coaching or his
Larry
input.
Daniels.
It's about that's funny. It's not about what Chip Kelly's going to contribute to the culture of the team. It's about Ryan Day trusting him, and they know each other's offense because
Yes.
that's where Day came from. And he is simply, hey, the alignment of the safeties is this. Call this passing play. And Day will go, okay, interesting. Let's do it. Or whatever the case. That would be the only value that Chip Kelly should have.
He can do that can he do that as an analyst?
No.
He's not. He'd have to be.
Analysts
to
can't
be-
do actual game day coaching anyhow. Can
Right.
they?
They're not supposed to do crap on game days.
But if he's just communicating to Ryan Day, is that not?
That's coaching. That is assisting. You have to be on a coaching staff. I like your thinking.
I know what I'm trying to do here.
I do.
Because I also want James Laurinaitis to be a full-time coach so he can get out on the recruiting trail. He's not currently.
That'd be big
Yeah,
time.
he's a grad assistant.
How in the world is Fleming able to go out and recruit and Laurinaitis is not? That's got to change.
That does have to change, like yesterday.
Do you think Brian Hartline could be an understudy to Chip Kelly? That's what I would be banking on. If you back the Brinks truck up to him, like Aaron said, you pay him enough with the idea of saying, hey.
Put them both in the press box?
Yes, put them
Yeah.
both. He's right beside him.
Yeah.
He's learning it from him. That's how you have to do that.
With the understanding that he will be the next head coach at some point. I would put that in a contract. I would take Brian Hartline any day.
I would literally – here's what I would do. I can't believe we're getting into this, but this is – I would get Chip Kelly here, make him the OC, assistant OC. Him and Brian Hartline are both OCs. Brian Hartline, you also do special teams.
Yeah. But what do you do with the wide receivers at that point?
He's still wide receiver coach.
He's still wide receiver coach too.
He's
You know
just
how difficult that is?
But aren't a lot of the guys on special teams also wide receivers? They're like first, second year wide receivers.
It's different things. You're not coaching them to be wide receivers while they're doing special teams.
Right.
But you're right. A lot of them are wide receivers or DBs or whatever. You're right. But it's two different responsibilities that take time unto themselves.
But I'm not okay. Well, we got to come up with a solution for Ryan Day because he obviously needs help here because we got to get Fleming off this staff. The other thing is we have.
I've got the solution, Eric.
We
An
also
unemployment check.
We also have two defensive backs coach, right? I like them both, but most teams don't. They have one.
Yeah.
If you're the cornerback, you're also the safety coach. We have a defensive coordinator right now who's not coaching a position. He was linebackers, but then we brought Laurinaitis in. Like this staff right now is so mixed up. And there's missing continuity to this thing. And it's got to get fixed. And Jay, you're right. The little animal needs to be on this staff full time.
Yeah.
Because why can't he replace Fleming as special teams coach?
There you go.
Well, he's the linebackers coach, though. You just told me you can't mix them up.
No, you're right. But my understanding is Jim Knowles is still coaching the linebackers, is he not?
He's not. He
He
gave it
gave
all.
that up.
James is the linebackers coach who's not able to go to freaking recruit. It's screwed up, Aaron.
That's weird. They need to.
He can recruit on campus when they come to him or on the phone. Yeah. He can't go to the recruit's house.
They need to fix that.
But Fleming can. That is asinine to me.
It is. That's dumb. Pure stupidity.
And Jim Knowles might be a great defensive coordinator. I think he's really good schematically. Yeah. I do. I think he's improved this defense immensely. One could argue that he failed again this past weekend. I don't think he did. I think he put the defense in a good enough position to win the game if our offense could have, walked and chewed gum at the same time. But he's not even a big-time recruiter, and that's part of the problem, which is why you need James out there so bad right now.
Donald, you're right, buddy. That is the case. He needs him a first sergeant to fix his problem. He is that butter bar that got somehow appointed to like company commander, and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He needs a first sergeant. You're right. I like how you put that.
Fire Johnson and let LJ take his place.
JL.
James Laurinaitis. Fire
Larry Johnson.
Larry Johnson and have James Laurinaitis take his place. That's not a good idea.
No,
that's a mistake.
Thanks for the offering, Brian, but I don't think Laurinaitis can coach defensive line.
Not at that level.
He didn't play it. He was a linebacker. He speaks the love language of linebacker.
You want to know who to get rid of on a line? Fry.
Yes.
There's been no improvement.
No improvement.
Not on the field and not on the recruiting trail.
They're still softer than a baby's bottom.
We got a 3-star. Okay. We need 5s. We need high 4s. We're not getting that. Nothing has changed. That is a fact, Jay. That is a fact.
You Army guys.
Can't read a map, and he gets too much money.
All right, guys. We went way over tonight, but we needed to. We needed this therapy. We're going to talk more about this game, although I don't really want to. But as the week comes closer to what we know is going to happen, by this time next Sunday, we're going to know what's going to happen, whether we're in the CFP. Or, actually, you're right, Jar of Happiness. Fry may go to Indiana.
He needs to.
That's his alma mater. So,
Deuces.
Hi, Felicia.